need to understand, my buddy John and I, we travel the country wide, mostly in Texas, and we talk about country lifestyle. Well, 72 years ago, I was born into country lifestyle, and when I think about empowering seniors for 2020 in this virtual event, I have to also consider the fact that yesterday, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 40 years ago, life was a little different, even in the country. And yes, it's a blessing, but it's trying as well to live in the country. But I so love to have people of all ages come to the country to see us. And maybe we can organize a trip like that someday. Let me take the opportunity, first of all, being a senior, and for all of you that may live in a more urban than rural environment, that yes, we're blessed to be out here, but our days run a little longer because they start before the sun comes up and end sometimes long after. Cattle, livestock, horses, people, things that, all go with the country lifestyle. As I'm very honored to come into your home this morning or wherever you might be, I want you to think about a couple of things. I grew up in the country like a lot of you did, without running water in a house, a one-room schoolhouse, way out in the middle of the high desert in Nevada. You can call it Nevada if you want to, like Texans do. But that was a great remembering factor for me. As I got a little older, we moved to town, and then I got involved in 4-H and FFA, but I always stayed with my country roots and then got in the rodeo business. The rodeo business has allowed me to travel all over the world, 5 different continents, stay with a Western lifestyle. And as I've got older, my appreciation level for what I did, not for what I'm going to do, it grew. And as I go to rodeos in NRG Stadium in Houston, or the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, or the Big Reno Rodeo, or the Calgary Stampede, and I see people of all ages, 8 to 80, who come to watch a rodeo and be involved, they want that country lifestyle, of that environment of tall-crowned hats and high-heel boots and bucking horses and, calf ropers, team ropers, all of those kind of things that stay prevalent today with this lifestyle. And what I want you to understand is that you and I might not have had running water in a house. We didn't have television. I was 12, 14 years old before I ever saw TV. I didn't know what the news was by the man on the TV screen at 5 o'clock, 100 miles away or 1,000 miles away. And it seemed like we got along pretty fine. Today we base ourselves on these electronic devices, this video screen, with computers. And we seem to find a desire to be mongers of information and get more information as quick as we can get it. Whether we retain it or not, that's our lifestyle. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. In the country way of life, it sometimes is hard. Yes, you have freedoms of space to look out across the pasture to see some cows and some horses. Yes, you have an opportunity to do a different business in agriculture that seems free. I do believe that it's kept me younger, first of all, due to the physical work. Secondly, due to the mentality of being able to make the decisions of the beef I raise is going to feed people in the Metroplex. I also understand that the physical work of packing a feed sack, farming, driving a tractor, the lifting, the lugging, the going, has kept me younger and in better shape. But on the other hand, I think it takes me away from the urban lifestyle of watching the news 12, 14 hours a day. What else can you do? Read the Bible. That's my out, but it's also my in. Daily testimonies, musings from John Fletcher, every morning. When you think about the leaves changing color, it's easier to see in the country than it is in the city, I think, sometimes. But what does the country life do to give you more enjoyment? I do believe it's the freedom and the space. Now, I just passed my real estate test, and so I've got people coming to the country that want to live out here, coming from a city or a small town atmosphere, and they want space. They want 10 acres, they want 20 acres, or they want an acre and a house. But they want to have some animals, might be chickens. I honestly believe that the more animals you can surround yourself with, and kids and grandkids, if you're blessed to have them, are important. A country way of life, having more in a multitude of animals of diverse nature, breeds, kinds, creeds, colors, are healthy for you. Not just, a dog and a cat, but if you can have some chickens, if you can have guineas, I don't care what it is, they give you a purpose, because anytime that you take an animal out of a wild nature and bring them into man's domain, you become responsible for them, for their vet care, their health care, their food source, their water source, and where they sleep at night and how they perform during the day, how they grow and reproduce. So if I can say this to all of you seniors and empower you to think about this, can you just go to visit once a month, once a week, and see the country? Have somebody take you, or you drive out in the country. See what a farmer does and a rancher does to provide food. So many people don't understand this, but let me put this in your head. 2% of the world's population are farmers and ranchers. 2%. And they feed 98% of the world. I'm going to say that one more time. 2% of the country people that are ranchers and farmers feed 98% of the world. Food source of any and all kinds that grow from nature and the ground. Food source in raising cattle and pigs and chickens and turkeys and everything that we eat. Are we important to live out in the country? Yeah. Are we blessed? Yeah. Are we an endangered species? Yes. Why? Everybody in the city wants to move to the country. They want space, but they want security. They want a gas station close. They want a grocery store close. They want a drugstore close. So the country is being polluted by people, and I mean that in a positive manner, who deserve to come to the country, but they want the same freedoms. Take a drive in the country. Have somebody take you for a drive in the country. Think about when you're driving out through the country in the country lifestyle, it has a different set of hardships. I really do believe y'all would love it. How blessed am I? Go to a bed and breakfast out in the country. Think about what they do to operate it and the freedoms that they give you. And then think about the pace of life. I would rather live a 12, 14-hour day of what some people would think is a hardship, but a work day, than I would an 8-hour day in an office. But you also need to understand something. God bless those people who will go to those cubicles, that operate those businesses, that surround all of us that live in the country in the field of agriculture. So when you take the full circle of life, if you base it on one thing, faith in tomorrow by your strength and faith in grace today in God, you'll be blessed, country living or not. Have an awesome day. And also remember this. If it wasn't for us seniors, our kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids wouldn't have a lifestyle. Do we ever get credit for that? Not often. We drive slower, we're in the way. Sometimes we shuffle a little. Don't change that. Keep shuffling. Keep walking. Keep talking. Come to the country and do the same.